TV7 Israel News is made possible thanks to your generous donations.
Shalom, good evening. This is TV7 Israel News, broadcast to you from Jerusalem. And in today's top stories, Jerusalem pledges to retaliate against the Houthi Iranian-proxy in Yemen over its fire of a ballistic missile towards Israel. Israel's security establishment is deliberating whether to launch a robust military campaign against the Iranian proxy Hezbollah in Lebanon. The Islamic Republic of Iran asserts that it remains determined to launch a decisive strike against Israel when it least expects it. Israel continues to face multiple fronts as hostilities are seemingly at an upward trajectory, while prospects for a miscalculation are rising by the day. Last night at Jerusalem's Damascus Gate, an Israeli Arab from the northern town of Al-Ara attacked a border police officer, stabbing him in the back of his head before attempting to flee the scene.
I saw border police officers scuffling with an unidentified citizens. During the fight, the officer yelled out terrorist as he sustained a stabbing wound to the backside of his head. A friend and I immediately left our post as the assailant disengaged and started running into an alleyway. As he entered into the old city, we initially couldn't open fire because of many pedestrians. However, once an opportunity opened up, we opened fire to neutralize him.
Immediately following the attack, the border police officer was evacuated to a nearby hospital, while the terrorist was proclaimed dead at the scene. Israel police launched an investigation into the circumstances surrounding the attack. Meanwhile, the Yemenite Iranian-proxy Ansar Allah, which is dominated by the Houthi tribe, launched a surface-to-surface ballistic missile toward Israel yesterday morning at 6:21 a.m. Per preliminary inquiry conducted by the IDF, an interception process was set in motion as soon as the missile launch was detected. However, while the interceptor missile successfully struck the incoming projectile, it failed to destroy it. Consequently, parts of the missile, which partially disintegrated in the air, fell to the ground, causing minor damage to civilian infrastructure. Meanwhile, in the Yemenite capital of Sana'a, the Houthi tribe leader, Abdel Malik al-Houthi, addressed scores of his followers yesterday, marking the birth of Muhammad, claiming that his terror group introduced a new type of ballistic missile into the war versus Israel.
Death to America. Death to Israel. Curse the Jews. Victory for Islam.
وإن عملية اليوم التي نفذتها القوة الصاروخية.
Today's operation that was accomplished by the missile force with a new ballistic rocket and an improved technique transcended and penetrated all protection methods used by the Israeli enemy, including its various defense systems.
بما في ذلك منظومات الدفاع الجوي المتعددة والمتنوعة.
Al-Houthi spokesman subsequently expanded on the belligerent aggression toward Israel, and while the majority of the terror group's claims are unfounded and blatant lies, he did stress Ansar Allah's intention to launch more strikes against Israel.
The Israeli enemy should expect more strikes and special operations to come as we approach the first anniversary of the blessed October 7th operation, including responding to its criminal aggression on the city of Hodeidah and continuous supportive operations for the oppressed Palestinian people.
Meanwhile, in Jerusalem, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, during his weekly cabinet meeting, stressed Israel's intention to respond to the attack.
We are in a multi-front campaign against Iran's axis of evil, which is striving for our destruction. This morning, the Houthis launched a surface-to-surface missile from Yemen at our territory. They should know that we exact a high price for any attempt to attack us. Whoever needs a reminder of this is invited to visit the port of Hodeidah. Whoever attacks us will not evade our strike. Hamas is already learning this through our determined action, which will bring about its destruction and the release of all of our hostages.
Netanyahu went on to address the steadily escalating hostilities along Israel's northern front, pledging his commitment to ensure that Israel's northern residents will be able to return to their home with a sense of security.
I have visited the north. I am attentive to the residents of the north. I speak with them and with the heads of local authorities in the north. I see their distress. I hear their anguish. The current situation will not continue. This requires a change in the balance of forces on our northern border. We will do whatever is necessary to return our residents securely to their homes. I am committed to this. The government is committed to this, and we will not suffice with less than this. We will do this thanks to the heroism of our fighters and the unity among us, as a united people rising up against our enemies in order to ensure our future.
It is important to know that there are continuous deliberations at the Israeli Defense Ministry in Tel Aviv ahead of a looming security cabinet meeting to discuss the order of the hour vis-à-vis Hezbollah in Lebanon. According to separate reports, there is an ongoing disagreement between Premier Netanyahu and Defense Minister Yoav Gallant. The core of the argument relates to Premier Netanyahu's conviction that the time has come to launch a large-scale military operation against the Iranian proxy Hezbollah, whereas Minister Gallant supports the Biden administration's aspiration to exhaust the diplomatic option in an attempt to avoid an all-out regional conflagration. Meanwhile, in Iran, Deputy Chief of Staff Rear Admiral Habibullah Sayari asserted that the Islamic Republic of Iran remains determined to strike at Israel, pledging to do so when Israel least expects it.
یه عملیات ما انجام دادیم به نام عملیات وعده صادق.
We conducted our punishment strikes dubbed Operation True Promise. Like I said, it was merely to demonstrate Iran's ability to inflict harm on Israel. What couldn't be missed was that America, France, Germany, Britain, and Jordan activated their air defense systems to back up Zionist regime's Iron Dome system as a response to Iran's retaliation. The question, however, is whether they will always be prepared to react to Iran's every move. They can't. In the same vein, we will not announce in advance our retaliatory actions for Hania's assassination. Since the assassination, the America-led West has sent us a message hoping that Iran would not take any retaliatory action. But there will definitely be a response to Hania's assassination from us. It is just up to us to decide when that is going to happen, and we will make sure that our response is meticulously and well planned.
و این جوابم باید حتماً با تدبیر و حکیمانه باشد.
The renewed Iranian pledge to strike at Israel came as the Islamic Republic Space Organization announced that it successfully launched yet another satellite into orbit.
The satellite which was launched was the Shamran-1 research satellite. This satellite was launched to control and correct the orbit positions of subsystems.
The latest launch of an Iranian satellite into orbit comes at the backdrop of U.S. intelligence reports that Moscow had transferred knowledge to Tehran related to space and other industries, as Russia and Iran seemingly are deepening their strategic collaborations. This relationship is expected to grow even further as Russian President Vladimir Putin, who met with the recently appointed Secretary of Iran's Supreme National Security Council, Ali Akbar Ahmadian, in St. Petersburg on the sidelines of a BRICS meeting of respective national security advisors.
Dear Mr. Ahmadian, I'm very glad to welcome you to St. Petersburg. I hope that your stay here was both useful and pleasant. I know that a lot of work has been done with colleagues, including Russian ones, during your visit. I must note that in recent years, friendly Russian-Iranian relations have gained additional momentum. All this is happening to a large extent with the support of the Supreme Leader of the Islamic Republic, Ayatollah Mr. Said Ali Khamenei. I ask you to convey to him my best and kindest wishes. We appreciate that cooperation with Russia remains a priority for the team of the new president, Mr. Masoud Pezeshkian. We are expecting him in Kazan on October 22nd to 24th for the BRICS summit. I think we will find time for a separate bilateral conversation.
It is worth noting that while U.S. intelligence on Iranian transfers of ballistic missiles to Russia, which Washington shared with relevant allies and partners, continues to be a topic of denial, as similar to weeks and months that preceded Russia's utilization of Iranian drones against Ukraine, Moscow doubles down on its claim that the United States intelligence community is fabricating the Islamic Republic's transfer of munitions.
We hear plenty of speculations on some sort of deliveries of certain weapons to the Russian Federation. None of them have any grounds under them. We develop our relations with a whole range of states. We cooperate in a variety of spheres, and we will continue this cooperation in the interests of our countries.
Thank you for watching TV7 Israel News. I would like to encourage you, pray for the peace of Jerusalem and the salvation of Israel. Separately, if you're blessed by our productions, which are exclusively donation-based, please consider prescribing a donation. You can do so via our website at www.tv7israelnews.com. I'm Jonathan Hassan, wishing you a Shavua Mevorach, and God willing, we will see you during our next update. Until then, Shalom from Jerusalem.